Good morning, Cityside. Happy Sunday. We're going to stand together and sing Perfect. In my eyes, in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my life, I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect. You're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, courage I feel. When I listen, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, your love. You're perfect. You're golden, you're my light, my When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other, you're perfect, you're golden, your light, your love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. Yes, you're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, my love. Our second song today is Worthy. I know exactly what you're thinking. I've had those thoughts a million times. I can see the question that's behind your eyes. Oh, you're searching for your peace of mind. Now listen up to this truth. You are me and I am you. Every one of us is worthy. Baby girl, worthy woman, every one of us is worthy. I know your life, I felt your pain. I know your joys and your shames. Sometimes it feels like life walks all over you, oh, like you're a penny on the ground. But either on the ground or in your purse, the smallest piece still holds its worth. Every one of us is worthy. Baby us is worthy. Every one of us is worthy.
As always, thank you, music team. Have a little bit of a lipstick there, trying to show us the cuteness this morning, Paige. I also want to thank our tech team, Dom and Ben. They are always behind the scenes, making sure that we have music, we have presentation, and online people are able to see every Sunday celebration. So I want to thank them as well. They're kind of our unseen heroes in the background there. So hello, Cityside peeps. My name is Don Manry, one of your licensed spiritual practitioners. Pronouns he, him. And if you are joining us online, welcome and hello. Good morning. I know you're probably having your morning coffee and croissant. Lucky you. Probably still in your pajamas, unlike us, but that's okay. We have Jonathan Hoffman. He is our online host this morning. So I'm sure he's having his coffee too. So please feel free to have a chat with him if anything comes up in the service today. We invite everyone to help us serve more people and spread the word about Cityside. Please share the live stream link, check in on Facebook and Instagram, and share posts to let everyone know that you are here. As you enter the room, there are these little purple cards, You Belong Here cards. Please take a few of those and share them with family and friends. It tells you who we are and what we do and what we're about, so please share that. At Cityside, we embrace new thought and wisdom teachings and are affiliated with the Centers for Spiritual Living. We honor all paths and provide a supportive community where you can explore your own spiritual path. Please join me in reading our vision and mission statement. At Cityside, we envision a diverse and empowered community that is practicing unconditional love in action. Our mission is to create safe and inclusive spaces to explore and deepen our faith, grow in spiritual consciousness, and express our authentic nature. Never get tired of that reading, that vision and mission statement. Today we have Rob Wozniak, one of our other licensed spiritual practitioner. He is holding vigil for us today virtually. Vigil is a meditative state, creating a space for us to have a transformative experience. Today we have our own Reverend Linda Jackson. I don't know where she's hiding. Oh, there she is. Reverend Linda Jackson today. She is continuing our April theme, Becoming, inspired by the book, The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be by Mark Nepo. And Reverend Linda's talk title is entitled The Endless Practice, Real Love. So I'm looking forward to her insights and what she has to share for us today. So we are going to move into our time of community greeting. And maybe I'm future casting a little bit, but I'm so looking forward to summer already. I know we've just gotten into spring, but with this weather, I feel like I'm ready for summer already. So is there anything you're looking forward to this summer? For me personally, I'll just add that I always look forward to the street festivals and kind of hanging out at those. So whatever's coming up for you this summer, just share with somebody, maybe talk to somebody you haven't met before and meet somebody new. I would take about 1 or 2 minutes for that. Thank you.
And it's is it on? Okay. What's up again? Oh, that's better. Okay. Greetings, everybody. Good morning. And my name's Gordon Dickinson. I am one of your licensed spiritual practitioners, and I use pronouns too, but I'm not telling you what. So anyway, sorry. I'm here today to share a reading that's related to today's message, facilitate a brief meditation, and it's an opportunity to reflect on the reading, and I also will offer an invocation, a blessing for the service. So today's reading is from this thing called You by Ernest Holmes. We are all some part of a universal order. The very urge for personal gratification is incomplete until it finds a universal outlet. This is the cause back of all upheavals in human history. The pattern is trying to fit the pieces into greater and greater units as though it could not accomplish its purpose through anything other than a democracy of spirit, a union of all. This union, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to principles, unity never means uniformity. Every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, every individual, like every individual, is a little bit different from any other one of its species. Humanity is made up of innumerable individuals, no two alike, and yet society is a composite whole moving gradually towards some ultimate goal. What could this goal be other than that everyone, while remaining individual, shall find a more complete expression in and among all other individuals? So I invite you to just think about that. Maybe close your eyes for a minute. Just enter a time of stillness and contemplate that message and the spiritual growth that we are all engaged in. All right, I invite you all to return, join each other. We'll join each other back in the room here, and just really recognize and appreciate your wholeness and your oneness with God. Right here and now, I recognize that there is one power and presence that I call God that is the source of love, wholeness, abundance, peace, and joy. I know that everyone in this room and everywhere participating online is one with this source of love, wholeness, peace, and joy that lives in, as, and through all of us. I know that we are all one. From this place of oneness, I bless our gathering today. I bless this service. I bless Cityside. and the space of love, healing, and wholeness that this community creates. I bless all the hearts and hands that have come together today to create this space and facilitate this service. I bless Reverend Linda, knowing she is divinely appointed to share her message today. I bless everyone participating in this service, knowing that we share the gifts we receive from this community with our broader communities in Chicago and beyond. I bless it all and call it good, and so it is.
The feature song today is Shower the People. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. Tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed to play a fool? One thing can be to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother and sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will do as I say. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is wildly known. Now what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone? Once you tell somebody the way you feel, you can feel it begin to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be just fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way you feel. Things are gonna be much better
Thank you so much. You know, as always, I have so much appreciation for Nora and Paige and Greg, and I guess you can never have too much appreciation, though. So I just want to thank them for always sharing their gifts. And let's see, am I not all the way plugged in? I'll let that work on. They can work on that for a moment. This idea of showering the people you love with love, right? I would say we could shower everyone with love, but sometimes we're not even very good at showering the people we love with love, right? And if we don't get that, if we can't work on loving ourselves and loving the people in our circle, how are we going to be able to extend that out into the world? The practice, as always, begins here. It begins within. So I am Reverend Linda. I use she, her pronouns, and I am continuing our April theme, Becoming. And in our journey of becoming, as we find the courage to look at our wounds and the strategies that we have developed for dealing with those wounds and the ways we sort of subconsciously behave, we adapt, we cope, we survive. And we don't need to fix or perfect ourselves, but we do need to accept ourselves. And as we become more fully ourselves, as we develop greater self-connection, we can then create deeper connection with others, deeper, greater belonging in our lives, in our community, and really in the world. So I want to take just a quick moment, and I have to move because I can't see Amy. I think I'm not blocking anyone anymore. So I just want to take a quick moment to acknowledge that Rev. Amy and Paul McHugh and I just returned from Reno, from the Centers for Spiritual Living convention, the annual convention, with 400 other, ministers, practitioners, community members, all people of like mind. And people from all over the world, because there are these centers for spiritual living in other countries as well. And it's always inspiring, to receive the music, the messages, the workshops, but to be in the room with that collective energy. I mean, you know how it feels to come here and be in practice together. Well, multiply that by 10. And, that energy is just, I'm just really grateful to sort of feel renewed by that and to bring that back. And so we are also renewing our exploration of the basic principles and practices, especially love and oneness. That's what I'm bringing here today, not only for how we care for Cityside and for the greater CSL organization, but for how we bring this teaching into the world. And that is really the point for me as a minister of this teaching, is to share the principles that helped transform my life. To support others to have their own remembering of the truth of their nature, love as your nature, and oneness as our collective nature. And to practice this not only in our daily interactions with others and with all of life, really, but including caring for our planet. That's something we don't talk about a lot here, and I want to sort of bring that into the conversation. And we're going to be exploring more of all of this in our workshop this afternoon, so that's a little shameless plug to join the workshop after service. So when we get underneath the roles we play, the constructs we were raised in, our implicit bias that we've absorbed, the ways that we've adapted to belong, to fit in, we can begin to remember the part of us that remains true, that we are one with love, one with what I call God, one with the divine. And when we remember ourselves as love, we open to more honest and courageous way of loving. And this is the endless practice, real love. And in our book this month, The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be, which, by the way, we do have some available for donation. In The Endless Practice, Mark Nepo says, what's in the way is the way. So life's challenges shape us and point us back to ourselves, back to the divine within. We know this, you've heard this with many other books and teachings, that everything that is happening is for our awakening. We can think of everything as either a direct experience of God and love or pointing us back to God, our love, right? And in the endless practice, becoming who you were born to be, who you were born to be is love. We are each unique, individual expressions of love. And this is the endless practice, returning to love. Not living from the constructs, the biases, and the fear, but being real love. When we reconnect with this truth and remember ourselves as love, as our glorious, unique expressions of the One, we can meet others differently. We can be in greater presence. We can bring more compassion and care. And in this time in the world, with all of this division and uncertainty, I really believe that this practice of real love is one of the most powerful ways that we can contribute to healing and connection. So not just in our personal experience, but in the world. And it's not a one and done thing. It is an ongoing practice. An endless practice of returning to real love again and again. And as I was writing this, from the 31st floor, it's just the top floor of the condo building where I'm staying, out of the corner of my eye, I saw this huge shadow move past the window of the balcony, and I turned to look, and there was this huge hawk-like bird, and I don't know enough about birds to name what kind of hawk it was, but it was huge, like whoo. And it was just gliding out there in between my space and the building across the way. And I was just awestruck, and it was really graceful and gentle, and it was just sort of circling. It wasn't frantic and like it was looking to pounce or anything like that. It was just swooping by. And it came so close to the balcony that I was really kind of taken, And on its final circle around, it came directly toward me, and at the last second just swooped up and went over the top of the building. And I was like, wow. And, one of the things we spiritual folks do is try to create meaning out of everything, right? But I know there's a lot of animal symbolism, especially in some of the Native American traditions and so forth. And I don't know exactly what the meaning is, but some of the meaning that I have heard or that I'm familiar with is when you see a hawk, that it's a sign of guidance and that you're on the right path. And it can also be a sign of rising up and taking that different perspective. And I felt like that was such a great, a great little thing to bring into this talk, a confirmation, right? We are being guided to the endless practice of rising up. And it's not just up, it's expanding, returning to love. So what is real love? It's not being nice. It's not avoiding conflict. It's not agreeing with everyone. Real love is staying present, staying connected, and choosing not to close off, not to contract when something is happening that feels uncomfortable. The endless practice of remembering the truth that our essence is love, the endless practice of rising up in our perspective and returning to love again and again. It takes us out of the old story and into the new story. So what do I mean by getting out of the old story, rising up, expanding into the new story? Sort of like the inspiration of the CSL convention, we were inspired to move from who we have been that created the current version of ourselves to who we need to be to step into the vision of who we are becoming. And if we look at the challenges individually, the old story is a combination of our wounds, our limiting beliefs, our coping strategies, the behavior patterns, the filters that we're seeing through, the things that have us repeating the old story, the old experiences. And collectively, the old story is what I'll call the domination culture that we're living in, the constructs, the biases, the collective beliefs, the behaviors and patterns that keep us in the loop together. And I'm not talking about which side we're on. I'm talking about all of us. Believing we need to compete, that I need to be better than you, that I need to get somewhere out here, that fulfillment comes from outside of us. It becomes a collective scarcity mindset. It's a power struggle, the domination cycle. It tells us you're separate, you have to protect yourself, you need to prove your point, and you have to win at all costs. To experience the new story, we have to expand our awareness. We have to notice the fears and the limiting beliefs that drive us, do any healing work that is necessary to allow us to be fully present or in presence. And what does that mean to be in presence? You know, a lot of times I think we talk about oneness and presence and things, and we might have a sort of intellectual idea of it, but do we have an embodied, lived experience of it? As individuals, to me, presence means to sit in practice in the presence of spirit, of love. And when we are each practicing presence, the presence of spirit, of love, then collectively we can practice presence in relationship. And that means emptying ourselves. Emptying ourselves of our own agendas, our ideas, our programming, our need to tell you what I think instead of listening to you, in order to be fully available to hear what is alive in the other person, to be able to connect, to be present to what is going on inside of us without reaction, so that we can be available to others. Awareness and presence gives us space to remember the love and the oneness that are our essence. And these are the first two spiritual principles in the Science of Mind teaching, listed in the back of all of the class books, love and oneness. And it's part of the concepts of that Mark Nepo was talking about. It's also part of the nonviolence that we're going to be talking about in the workshop, Practicing the Principles of Nonviolence. Love and oneness are some of the primary principles. And that having awareness and presence allows us to remember the love and oneness as our essence. And it's that moment, you've heard the Viktor Frankl quote, that between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom. Awareness and presence gives us that space. That's how we find that space. To remember the truth, to remember love and oneness at our essence, and to be able to look for the love in the other across from us. So when something in us gets activated, whether it's a feeling, a reaction, or we start to run an old story, if a wound is activated, a need is unmet, whatever it is, however you call it, that activation gives us information. If we have developed expanded awareness, and if we are practicing presence, we have that space to make a choice. To receive this activation as pointing us back to love, pointing us back to God, back to our wholeness, into our hearts, to our love essence at the core of who we are. It's an opportunity for us to do whatever healing work is needed, feel the feelings, express the needs. I'm not telling you to bypass anything. You got to move through it in order to be truly remembering your love essence and to be truly present. So you have to explore the old ideas and beliefs that may be holding us in an old mindset. Because the old story is not the truth of who we are. Beneath that reaction, there is that something in us that remains. The truth of our wholeness, our love essence. It is the divine within. And this is the endless practice, learning to come back here to love. Again, not bypassing, having the experience, doing the deeper work needed, and remembering who we are at our essence. Expanding into love and oneness. And when we're connected in that way, something shifts in how we meet each other. We listen differently. We become more curious. We begin to recognize that beneath all of our differences, there are shared human needs. And when we understand what each other needs, something new is possible. Something opens, more options, more solutions become available. As you heard in the reading, oneness does not mean sameness. Ernest Holmes said, "This union, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to principles, the principles I'm talking about, love and oneness, unity requires conformity to principles, but unity never means uniformity." It's insane to try to get somebody else to be just like you, or to think just like you, or to feel just like you. Sorry, I shouldn't say it's insane. It's a little wacky. He says, every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, like every individual, is a little different from any other of its species. And he also talks about humanity being made up of innumerable individuals, no two alike. And yet society is a composite whole moving gradually towards some ultimate goal. What could this goal be other than that everyone, while remaining individual, shall find a more complete expression in and among other individuals? We find our full expression in and among other individuals. He's saying oneness does not mean sameness. We conform to principles, but we do not require uniformity. Within all of the diversity, the ultimate goal is that we find that more complete expression, and we find it amongst other individuals. We need one another to be our full expression. Let's take a breath. All right. When we remember love and oneness at our essence, not only the essence of who I am, but the essence of who I am sitting with, the essence of the one I hear on the news that triggers me, and the essence of everything on this planet. When we do this, not only do we become better stewards of the earth, the plants, the animals, all resources, we become better stewards of our relationships. We move from competition to collaboration. We move from fear to love. We can sit with what's alive or activated in someone else without needing to convince them of our point of view. We can understand that we have universal needs, and the new story is remembering ourselves as unique expressions of the divine. Doing the work we need to do individually to be able to support ourselves collectively, emptying ourselves of our agenda in order to understand the other's needs. This is the practice, to see everyone and everything as the divine. What a world. And it sounds beautiful and inspiring, but the question is, how do we live this, right? How do we do it? It's one thing to talk about love and oneness, and another to practice it. When we're triggered, if we're hurt, when we're in conflict, when we don't know how to do that, when we get caught up in what's activating us, we can lose our sense of connection to ourselves, to the divine, to each other, to life. And I will come back to this question of how do we actually live this. I just want to share this Mark Nepo Facebook post from January 27th, just earlier this year. He was sharing about the violence in Minneapolis. He wrote on the epidemic of violence. If we step back, we can see that more and more violence has been erupting all over the world. Violence everywhere, like weakened cells exploding in the global body at random. In our streets, in our homes, in our airports, in our grocery stores. Like you, like everyone, I don't know what to do with this. It's heartbreaking. The truth is, we need each of us to stay strong and kind and useful, and to not become what is done to us. The truth is, we live in a modern world in which so many of us have lost our direct connection with life. Why is it important to be directly connected to life? Because when deeply connected, we feel a reverence for life. And when we feel a reverence for life, we can't do harm. When cut off and adrift, we go numb. And the need to be connected in a meaningful way with ourselves, with each other in life, doesn't go away. He says, violence is a desperate attempt to feel. Every soul has faced this, every family has faced this, every age has faced this. What to do when cut off and numb and feeling less than? We can break the things around us, or we can strengthen our connections. Our job, today and every day, in our lives, in our cities, in all our struggles, is to be the last good gesture standing. That's a phrase Mark Nepo uses frequently, to be the last good gesture standing. For every authentic exchange is healing. And we have to be the healthy souls at work in the global body. Powerful stuff. And the New Thought Dictionary tells us that the entire manifest creation is the body of God. Nepo's global body is what we call the body of God. Essentially, we are the body of God, the body of creation. Not separate from life, but expressions of it. So how we live, how we respond, how we treat one another matters. If we are the body of God, when we harm others or the planet, who are we harming? Tell me, that's not a rhetorical question. Yes, if we are the body of God, we are harming ourselves. Nepo said violence is like weakened cells exploding in the global body at random. We need to strengthen the cells in the body. And he says that when we know our connection, we have such a reverence for life that we do no harm. We're invited to strengthen our connections. It takes work. It's not one and done. It's the endless practice, returning to love again and again and again. I just went off script. I have to find my place in my notes. So this is our practice, to strengthen our connections with ourselves, with one another, with the planet, strengthening our connection to the divine, and with the divine in all things, all people and all things. We are the healing cells in the body of God. This is such a beautiful idea. In nonviolent communication, we learn that humans have universal needs. Our needs are universal. It is our strategies for meeting those needs where we differ. That's where we disconnect from one another. And I do hope you will consider joining this afternoon to practice developing greater awareness, greater presence, to practice emptying ourselves, to be present with one another, to practice empathy, and to practice understanding our universal needs, to strengthen our connection with the divine in one another in all things. So instead of violence erupting in the global body, we will be the healing cells in the body of God. So I'm going to take us into just a brief practice and prayer. I want to invite you first to just get yourself centered in whatever way works for you. Bringing your attention inward, perhaps closing your eyes if you're comfortable, and if you're not, maybe just taking a downward gaze. Taking a nice deep breath in and out at your own pace. Feeling yourself getting anchored in your seat. We heard Ernest Holmes tell us that oneness does not mean sameness, but it does require conformity to principle. Today we are focusing on love and oneness as the principles that help us to shift. Let's begin with this idea of emptying yourself. How does it feel to empty yourself of your own agendas, your own ideas, any programming, any thoughts of what you need to be doing or what we could be doing instead of this or what you want to do later, and being fully present, to be fully available in this moment. Presence gives us space. We may begin to remember the love and oneness at our essence. As we sit in presence, allow this phrase from Ernest Holmes to seep in. Every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, like every individual, is a little different from any other of its species. We are each a unique individual expression of the divine. And within all of the diversity, the ultimate goal is that we each find a more complete expression. We find that expression among other unique individuals. We need one another, like the symbiotic relationships between the trees and plant life, the symbiotic relationship between all of us and all life on earth. We truly are one body. Take a breath. Imagine opening your heart, expanding our hearts. Imagine if you can allow a layer of separation to begin to fall away. All of our hearts expanding and connecting front to back, side to side. The heart is not just a place in your chest. This is our center of connection to all things. Opening our hearts, we can tap into our hearts and expand our awareness of connection to all things. This is the endless practice. Coming back to this again and again, emptying ourselves, to be that love, to remember our oneness, and to reach for connection. So I just recognize and affirm us all as that body of love, one body with many unique individual expressions. We are the individual expressions of the divine. We are that love. And I affirm for each of us that there is a deepening in remembering this, that there is a deepening in our practice of emptying ourselves and being available to sit with the one in front of us and those all around us, and to connect and to have compassion for what is really going on in them, and to lift ourselves again up and expand into greater and greater love, greater and greater compassion, greater and greater connection, to be the healing cells in the body of God. This is our call. This is our job. And I'm so grateful for all who are here saying yes to this, who are practicing this, who are taking this into their lives and continuing to deepen in this and practice more each day, becoming the healing cells in this body of creation. And I'm so grateful for the yes to remembering our love, to remembering our oneness. And I release this into the law that always says, yes, I let it be so. And if anything about this resonates with you, please join me in affirming it by saying together, and so it is. Thank you. She's going to be ready to stand up.
Is back.
You want to do that again? So thank you, Reverend Linda. We do appreciate your talk today. I couldn't help but sit there, and I want to bring it to a pop culture reference, but I kept thinking of RuPaul's Drag Race and that quote at the end of every show. It's like, if you can't love yourself, how the heck are you going to love somebody else? That just kept running through my mind for some reason. But anyways, I do appreciate the message that, practice compassion, practice getting to know your fellow person that's next from you and listening and being empathetic to them as well. So appreciative of all those little tips and ways that we could be more engaged in the global body. So we are going to move into our time of offering. Cityside is a community-supported organization, and each week we practice conscious giving, which allows us to make this service and other offerings available to you. Your financial support makes Cityside possible. I always appreciate being within the flow of abundance. So when I give, I know I always receive. Allow yourself that gift as well, knowing that your gifts always comes back to you as well. If you scan the QR code on the screen, you will be led to our giving options. If you prefer to give in person, there is a giving box right here in the center of the room. We just ask that you fill out the giving form. I don't know if it's even there right now, but in any event, so we are practicing the law of giving and receiving here in the room. We are giving affirmation cards to you as we receive your gifts. Take a couple cards and give one away, or leave one in a coffee shop. Make someone's day. Please join me in reading our giving affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. Thank you so much for your gifts.
I am light, I am light. I am light, I am light. I am light, I am things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I am
Good morning, everybody. I'm Reverend Amy. I'm the spiritual director here. I use she, her pronouns, and I just want to thank everyone for your gifts. We literally would not be here without them, so thank you so much. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. So glad you're here. If you're new in the room, you can stop in the back and see Reverend Linda, and she has a little welcome gift for you. And if you're joining us online, if you fill out the new visitor form, you'll receive your first workshop at no cost. The form also allows you to sign up for our newsletter. So if you're not getting our emails, even if you've been here for a long time, that's what you need to do to get the emails. And you can find anything you're looking for at cityside.me, our website. So Linda already mentioned that there is a Practicing the Principles of Nonviolence, Love and Action workshop. You may not all know that on the second Wednesday of every month, Reverend Linda, Jonathan Hoffman, and a few other people do a practice of these principles together. So they're literally in a circle practicing together these principles. So if you stay today, you're going to get an introduction to that, and you're going to also see how they're related to science of mind and apply nonviolence as a practice to disrupt the habits of domination culture and connect to our true power, which is love. So I really encourage you to stay. This Saturday, we also have a special event, a visit to a Sikh community visit and holiday celebration event. This is a part of our interfaith program that Reverend Judy runs. It's, I don't know how to say this exactly. Visit a Gurdwara, which is a Sikh house of worship, and join in the celebrations of the Sikh holiday of Baisakhi. This holiday commemorates the formation of the Khalsa, which created the distinctive Sikh identity. So there's music, there's dancing, there's kirtan, and a vegetarian Indian meal. And if you have any questions, Reverend Judy, wave at everybody. You can talk to Reverend Judy. This Wednesday, upcoming on the 29th, we have Just Breathe Integral Breath Work on Wednesday night. And next Sunday, we have a special event. It's Bring a Friend Sunday. So we encourage everyone to bring a friend. We have a very generous donor who has funded this, and this is to move us toward our vision of 2035 of growing the community. So invite someone who's new to Cityside, and when they complete the new visitor form, you'll get free brunch for two at O'Shaughnessy's on the corner. And the generous donor has wanted to create a bonus challenge also. So the person who brings the most people, we're doing this 3 Sundays, the third Sunday of April, May, and June, you get a $200 Visa gift card if you bring the most new people. So, any Sunday? Okay, any Sunday. Okay. Okay. So, we are always looking for volunteers on teams. If you are interested in joining a team, you can see Reverend Linda. Prayer is a big thing here. If you'd like to get some prayer, our prayer room is in the back of the room, and Gordon Dickinson will be offering prayer in person. And Jonathan Hoffman is going to be offering prayer to our online people on Zoom, so they'll be dropping. Sometimes the wrong word comes out. They'll be dropping the link in the live stream. And next Sunday, we have Reverend Darrell with us, continuing our April theme of becoming. We do have maybe one copy of the Endless Practice that you can pick up at this point in the back of the room, and it's based on a donation. So I just want to wish everyone a great week, and thank you for being here.
We're gonna stand and sing it out. This is I Release. There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all by myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you've got to let it go, let it all go. This is what you have to say. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Have a beautiful week, Cityside.